us with flexiblewarrior.com, and today we're going to do a restorative, relaxing sequence of stretches that are great to do after a hard practice, challenging game day, race day, just to help you settle in, relax, and hopefully speed the recovery process. All right, so let's go ahead and start lying down on your back. And if you don't have a yoga mat, don't use that as an excuse. You don't need one for these easy stretches, okay? Extend the legs out all the way straight. And just shake out the legs a little bit so that you know you're going to completely relax from the hips down. And just place your hands onto your belly. Let's start with taking 3 really deep breaths in. So with your eyes relaxed, closed, relax your shoulders. Take a deep breath into the belly, and you should feel the air come all the way up into your hands. So you'll feel the top of the inhale, and a little pause there at the top of the inhalation. And then exhale completely so that all the air comes softly, slowly out until you feel the bottom of the exhale. And do that again. Nice deep breath in. Filling up the belly and feeling the top of the inhalation. And then exhaling completely, relaxing your feet, ankles, knees, hips, shoulders, neck, and jaw. Let's do that one more time. Nice deep breath in, fill up the belly. Feel the air come wide into the ribcage and up to the top of the lungs and towards the heart. And then the same thing, relax as you exhale, so inducing the relaxation response in the body with the out breath. From there, go ahead and pull the right knee into your chest, and you're just going to hold right over top of the shin and hug the right thigh as close to the ribcage as you can, and just circle the right ankle around a few times, trying to get any pops out of the ankle, going through range of motion. And then reverse direction, same thing. So big circle, drawing a circle with the big toe. And then with your hands, slide them up towards your knee. Just circle the knee around in one direction. And try to synchronize breathing with this. So exhale as you draw the knee in towards you, and inhale as you trace a circle with it. Go ahead and reverse direction. So same thing, inhaling and exhaling. Deep breaths in and out through the nose. Nice and easy here. And then you're just going to take your left hand across your right knee and guide that knee across the body towards the floor. It might not actually touch the floor, and in fact, if you want to wrap your toes behind the knee, that helps kind of anchor the foot. You can take your right hand out behind you, and if you notice that your shoulder is really high up from the floor, bring your right hand closer down towards your left foot, so you can really relax the right shoulder. Take a nice deep breath in. Exhale, allow the low back to release, stretching in through the hip, side of the leg. One more breath. And then as you exhale, bring it back to center. And we're going to switch sides. So let's start with a full body stretch first. So both legs go out straight, point the toes. Stretch your hands over top of the head and actually lift the rib cage up off of the floor a little bit. So you feel a little bit of stretch through the abdominal wall and through the front line of the body. And then as you exhale, release to a neutral spine and bring your left thigh into your rib cage, hugging out over top of that shin. And just pull the left thigh as close to the rib cage as you can and circle the toes around on your left foot. Take your time, making the circles as big as you comfortably can. And then same thing, reversing directions. And then slide your hands up towards your knee a little bit and just start those circles through the hip. And just make sure while we're doing all of these stretches that you're not creating any tension through the neck or the shoulders. So you want to actually gently draw the chin slightly towards the chest, so the back of the neck is long. And same thing, you're synchronizing a breath with the movement. So you inhale as you take it out to the side and exhale as you draw it through center. Same thing, reverse directions for that hip stir. across the body. So take your right hand across your left knee and bring the left knee over and across. Again, if you want to hook your left toes behind your right knee, that works. The left arm can be out straight. If you notice your left arm is high up from the floor, just bring the left hand closer down towards the right foot, and that will allow your shoulder to drop down a little bit more. So you get a nice stretch through the front of the chest and shoulder as well. Take a very deep breath in. And as you exhale, try to drop that tension from your left shoulder, releasing your low back and your left hip a little. And then go ahead and bring it all the way back up to center and put your left foot on the ground and your right foot on the ground as well. So we're going to get a little bit into the hips. So I want you to walk your feet out wide apart so that your feet are probably a good 2 to 3 feet apart. If you have a yoga mat, they're wider than your yoga mat. And you're just going to bring your knees towards each other. So I'm going to turn a little bit so you can see this from the other side. So you're rolling towards the big toe side of your foot, bringing the knees together so you feel a stretch through the outsides of the legs. Okay? Inhale, let the knees come out wide, and you can guide them a little bit with your hands. And then exhale, let the knees draw towards each other. And just do that a few more times on your own. So inhaling as the knees open wide. And then exhaling as you roll to the big toe sides of the foot and bringing the knees towards each other. They might not necessarily touch, but they may. As long as you're not feeling any strain on the knees, it's all good. So inhale, open, feeling a stretch to the groin and thigh, and then exhale, knees come towards each other. Okay, one more time. Inhale, take a nice deep breath, knees open out wide, rolling towards the pinky toe side of the foot, and then exhale, roll towards the big toe side of the foot as the kneecaps come towards each other. You should feel a stretch through a little bit through the outsides of the hips. All right, so let's drop both knees. Keep your feet out wide just like they were, but just drop both knees towards your left so that your right kneecap is drawing down towards the floor. You should now feel a stretch through the hip flexor of the right leg and maybe through the quad a little bit as you lift the right hip bone up towards the ceiling and bring the kneecap towards the floor. So you think about the hip coming up, but the knee going down, and that will allow the stretch to happen. Okay, take a couple deep breaths in and out through the nose. And let's go ahead and bring it up to center and switch sides. So just roll your left knee down towards the floor, and just let the right knee fall over towards the side. And so I'll angle a little bit so you can see. So the knee comes down and the knee drops over. And that will, again, allow the stretch to come here, hip flexor, into the quad on that left leg. Take 2 more breaths. And as you exhale, go ahead and bring it all the way back to center and walk your feet back onto your mat, onto the floor, so that your big toes are touching. And then you're just going to drop your knees out wide to the side. And this is a very gentle groin and our thigh stretch, where gravity does the work for you. You can bring your hands back onto your belly again. And let's take 3 really deep breaths. So take a full breath in, feeling the top of the inhalation, the top of the breath. And then exhale completely. All the air comes out until you feel the bottom of the exhalation. And do that again. Nice deep breath in. Fill up the lungs. Feel the breath come wide into the ribcage. And then exhale completely until you feel a calm sensation come over the body. Let gravity do the work for you. Do that one more time. Deep breath in, top of the breath. And then exhaling completely. Good. Bring your hands outside of your thighs and just give your legs some support as you draw your knees towards each other. You're going to keep your left leg on the floor and just extend your right leg up, interlacing your fingers underneath your right thigh. So I want you to relax your tailbone down towards the floor. So it's tempting to want to lift the tailbone up from the floor, feeling like you're going to get a little deeper into the stretch. But what you really want to do is just let the tailbone anchor down and then lift the heel up towards the ceiling to whatever degree feels comfortable for you. So if your knee's really bent, no worries, just do what feels okay so that you get a nice stretch through the right hamstring. Let's take 2 more breaths. And then bend the knee, place the right ankle over the left knee, and press the right knee out towards your right. Now from here, you're just going to drop your right foot over to the floor. And draw your arms out into a T position so you get a nice stretch through the front of the chest and shoulders as well. All right, 3 really deep breaths here. Deep breath in through the nose. And exhale completely. And again, in through the nose. And exhaling. Great stretch from the hip and moderate spinal rotation. One more time, nice deep breath in. And exhale. Now, if you can go a little bit deeper through the stretch, I want you to take 2 more breath cycles either way, so continue to breathe. But if you feel like you can do a little bit more, I want you to take your right hand and reach it down and see if you can grab your left foot with your right hand. And if you can't, that's okay, don't force it. It's just an option. And then your left hand will come down towards your right foot, and you can scooch that up a little bit closer towards your left shoulder. This is going to increase the intensity of the stretch a little bit. Again, if it's uncomfortable in any way, don't force it if it doesn't want to go. All right, last breath cycle here. And then if you do happen to have a hold of your feet, you're going to go ahead and release them. Bring your legs back to center, and then uncross, and we're going to do the same thing on the other side. So the right foot comes down, the left leg comes straight up for your hamstring stretch first, so your hands just interlace underneath your left thigh. Same thing as before, the tailbone anchors down towards the ground, and then the left foot just floats up towards the ceiling. Relax your shoulders, your face, your neck, any tension that you might be holding in your jaw. Continue to take deep breaths in and out through the nose for 2 more breath cycles, allowing that left hamstring to open. And then from there, we're going to bend the left knee, place the left ankle over the right knee, gently press your left knee away from your face, and then the left foot is going to drop over towards your right side. Once the left foot touches down, then allow gravity to do the work. Let the arms drop out to the side. Make sure the back of the neck is long. So if you're starting to tilt your chin up towards the ceiling, gently draw your chin towards your chest so that the back of the neck stays long. And then you can either stay where you are. If you want to increase the intensity of the stretch a little bit, your left hand will come down towards your right foot. If you can scooch that foot up a little bit, deepening the stretch a little bit on the quad on the right leg. And then your right hand will come down, and you're going to scooch your left foot up a little bit so your hands are lightly connecting with the tops of your feet. All right, and again, no forcing while you're on your yoga mat. So if it doesn't happen to connect the hands to the feet, don't worry about it. Okay, over time you might get there. Let's take 1 more breath. And you can go ahead and release your hands from your feet if you have them connected. Bring your knees back to center, and then just uncross the legs, bringing both shins into your chest, and just do a knee stir. So circle the knees around in one direction, releasing your low back. And circle in the opposite direction. Make that knee stir as big as you can. And another option with the knee stir is to separate the knees apart. Okay, so you get a little bit of a groin and or thigh stretch with it too. And then just go in the reverse direction from that. Now from here, I want you to go ahead and extend both legs out straight on your mat. Turn your palms up to the ceiling. Walk your shoulders slightly down from your ears and in towards your spine so you feel like your chest is just slightly lifted up. Relax your eyes closed for a second. Take a deep breath into the nose. Fill up the lungs with new energy and oxygen to rejuvenate the blood in the body. And as you exhale, really consciously let go of tension that you're holding in your muscles or in your mind. And just practice that for a few more breath cycles. Focusing on bringing in new energy, focusing on what you want with the inhalation. And then as you exhale, softly letting go of tension and worry. If you're feeling really fatigued, you can stay here for a little longer. Otherwise, you can roll over onto your stomach. And you're just going to rest your forehead onto your hands. So you're going to fold your hands out in front of you, and then just drop your forehead straight down onto your hands. Elbows are out wide. And as your forehead rests down onto your hands, again, feel the breath come into the belly. And you'll have a little resistance from the floor beneath you now. So as you breathe into the belly, you'll feel the breath come deep into the belly and resist against the floor. And as you exhale, soften your shoulders, your face, your jaw, releasing tension with the out-breath. Slide your hands underneath your shoulders and push yourself all the way up and back into child's pose. So I want you to separate your knees wide apart, but keep your toes together to touch. Let your forehead drop down onto the mat and extend your arms straight out in front of you. And take 3 deep breaths here. And then shift your weight forward and cross your legs and come into sitting. So that was a short sequence that is focused more on recovery and just easy, gentle stretches. And sometimes just taking that 10 to 15 minutes for easy, gentle stretches, it can really help you to relax before you go to sleep and kind of open up the body a little bit more so that when you wake up tomorrow, you'll be more rejuvenated and ready to go for what's next. Thank you so much. If you have any questions whatsoever or requests, you can email me at karen@flexiblewarrior.com. And I look forward to seeing you again soon. Namaste.